Hello, good morning. Welcome, everyone. Happy Friday. This is open office hours. We're so happy to have you all. I'm Crystal Hinkle. I will let the rest of the team introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, it's Tatiana. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Brandy. Nice to see you guys.
Hey everybody, it's Hannah. Happy Friday.
Yes, I'm so excited that it's Friday. This week did kind of fly by. So I just want to say first, thank you all for joining us this morning. This is, well, our morning. It might be evening for you. This is really just a live Q&A, rapid fire, whatever questions that you have, send them our way. We use the Q&A. So if you see us like shifting to a different screen, that's what we're looking at, but we're happy to address any questions, whether they are like you're just freshly looking at Syncro or you've been with us for years. So all questions are welcome. We'll do our best to field them. Of course, if there's anything highly technical that we can't get to today, we will let you know that, whether it's needing to be submitted as a ticket or if we just have a delayed in response. So I am going to actually hop open the Q&A over here. I haven't yet. And it's crazy because there are a ton of folks in here and not a ton of Q&A just yet, which is so funny because this happens every once in a while where there's like nothing and then all of a sudden there's going to be like a gazillion. But I figure while we're waiting, let me just throw this. I always like to know, like I mentioned, we're always interested to make sure that these provide a ton of value for everyone. And I am curious just kind of where you are at in your journey with Syncro. So I'm just going to send out a poll. You'll see it pop up on your screen. If you wouldn't mind filling that out, that would be awesome. But otherwise, I think there are some questions starting to come through. So go ahead, Brandy.
Alrighty. So I have a question in here. Let me move this poll. I have a question from Derek. Is there a way to set up a different alerting or notification structure based on policy or customer? So great question. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you here. Let's see. What you can do, and this is truly like my favorite part in the entire system, if you've had a demo with me, you know that I talk about this a lot, but if you head into the assets and RMM section, and then you go to your actions and your automated remediations. This is where you can tailor this by customer or even per policy. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new automated remediation since there aren't a lot of questions. I can say, all right, my triggered category is, and maybe I want to do agent offline, or maybe I want to come in here and say, all right, if a device has low hard drive space and it is a specific customer, I could choose the following actions down here, or I might want to do this based on a policy too. So your automated remediations are where you're going to want to set up those based on policy or customer. There's obviously a ton of other factors here that you can set up, and then you can just take it full circle from here. So hopefully that helps.
Hannah, do you want to grab the question from Vin? I'm not ready for mine. I'm kind of prepping for Craig's question. It's a doozy, so I think we might be able to handle it, but I'm just trying to get all my tabs in a row.
No, I love that. Yes, I will grab the one from Vin. Vin asks, I want to run profitability per tech. Is there a way to do it? And so, Vin, one report comes to mind for me here. Let me just make sure I'm sharing the right screen. And that report is going to be the employee sales and commissions report. And so, in the reports section, I was looking at the sales detail as well, but under employees, you're going to have a couple of reports, and one is the sales and commission one. And so, this you can actually filter by employee and then period and then date specifically and even by product category, but then give a view on what was sold as well as the total cost and total price and then your net, and then be able to have, I was just looking for totals at the bottom, which we do provide. So kind of your total net from the sales of that employee in that specific time frame.
If you want me to go ahead and grab this one while you're getting that doozy ready, I sure will. So I have a question in here from Richard. Is there any documentation on your PowerShell module? Looking through the PSM file doesn't provide much context for the commands. So I will drop in, we have a scripting training module. I think it's like between 20 and 30 minutes. It's actually a really great module for anyone who hasn't seen that before. The great thing about our training module is, although it's probably the most powerful piece inside of the system, oh, it looks like Crystal's on it. Wow, look at that. She's like the Vanna White over there. If you haven't had anyone, like if there's people in your organization that aren't familiar with scripting or have never script, it is the most powerful piece in the system, but it's also very easy to use. I personally have run a script, and I am by no means a technician, and don't come from that background at all. So the training module is worth taking a look and even passing that along to your technician. So Crystal dropped that in the chat box for you guys.
Okay, guys, wish me luck. I think I'm ready. Craig, I hope you are still here and you don't have us like minimized and muted somewhere while you're taking a call, because this one's for you. So his question is there a way for us to query the pending reboot status from inside a script? It doesn't appear to be available as a platform variable in the script section. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Like Brandy said, we are not developers. We are not super technical. This is not the background that we come from. We love talking to people, which is why we are in sales, and we get to talk to super smart people like you guys every day. So I am going to show you guys something that I learned very recently, and hopefully this is helpful to you in this example that I'm about to show. So if you go over to your scripting section through Syncro, we do have the PowerShell module below. This, a couple of questions before this already referenced it, but this is going to be where you have a ability to create an alert in Syncro that triggers an RMM alert. So you would use this command in this script up here. So you're and that's the first piece here. The second piece is you could set up an automated remediation to where you say if the condition is trigger category is that custom script output or that custom alert, if that makes sense. So my concrete example here is if you guys go to the community script library and you search for this script called AV status, they have a really great description here. It says it'll query the built-in security system to determine if AV is out of date, and if not, then alert, probably just good to run this daily. So you could run this script on a daily basis. And then what I searched for here is specifically AV out of date. And down here is where that RMM category alert, that piece of the PowerShell module, is creating a custom trigger, basically, if that makes sense. So if you were to run a script, again, this is going to be up to you as the expert, as the MSP, as somebody who's more technical than me, is to decide for your specific example if there's a way for you to run a script to check for a pending reboot status on a daily basis. You could then, for those endpoints that are pending reboot status, you could have that serve as a custom trigger here into the automated remediation, and then follow whatever actions here to actually do the reboot or whatever other thing that you're trying to accomplish. So hopefully that you're able to follow it there. Again, the pieces here are the PowerShell module to create the custom alert using the script, and then use the output of that custom RMM alert to serve as a trigger in a condition. So basically having a script that triggers another script. So take what I say with a ton of grace and test it yourself, but hopefully that puts you in the right direction.
That's awesome. I'm glad you took a stab at that one, and not me. Better you than me. So a couple of questions in here I'll go ahead and grab. Let's see, I already did that one. Sebastian is asking, I invoiced some customers for agents used in the previous month. Is there a way to pull a report that shows all the agents that were used the previous month that have actually been online during the month? If a machine has been offline for 30 days, it's not included in the charges. So with this, there isn't a way to exclude like devices that haven't been on for a certain amount of days, but I'm going to show you a way that you could handle this. This is a workaround. So I like to take something that We don't have native, but you can make it work. So what I would recommend doing as a first step is creating a saved asset searches for devices that haven't fired on in a certain number of days. Whatever it is that your, like if your number is 5 or 10, whatever it may be, if they haven't been online for a certain number of days, if those are the devices that you're going to exclude, you'll just create a saved asset search. And I'll say, okay, mine is going to be they haven't checked in for 10 days. And then I'm going to go ahead and save that search. I have a couple searches like that in here somewhere. Right here, I have 10 and I have 3 days. Now, what I would do is I'd say, okay, all these devices that haven't checked in for 10 days, I'm actually going to select those and I'm going to just change the policy. And I could change it to a policy that's like inactive devices, right? It could just be a blanket policy. We can change devices from one policy to another really, really easily. And then on your recurring invoice, instead of using the assets and RMM counter, you could do it based on a number of, or based on policy. And if that customer has like 3 different policies, that would be a workaround. And you just wouldn't include that policy that those inactive devices were in. If you guys can think of a better way to do it, please let me know. That was just kind of a workaround that I came up with for that one. And then let's see here. I think I grabbed a couple others. Admittedly, I hadn't had time to look into reporting very much. Shame on you, Daniel. No, well, there's a lot in the system, so don't even worry. That's why we're here. Is there a way to generate a report for a customer to show all of their assets that have a certain piece of software installed? So yes, let me go ahead and show that to you. With that, we were just in the saved asset searches. This is actually a really nice way to find devices. You can do it on a customer. I could say, hey, let's find every one of the devices for Larry's business that has a specific installed application. This is one way that you can do that and just see a list of devices. It's not a report, but where you could do that is if I head into the reporting section, there is a software inventory report and I can type in the customer's name. It's going to show me all of their devices that have specific installed applications. So I can see how many devices have these, but if you want to drill down, then I would do the saved asset search. That's a nice way to handle that. There's also in the asset activity audit report that you could look for installed, updated, and uninstalled applications. So that's another way to handle that. And I think I got a couple more in here. I think maybe one more. Let's see. Ron, I have a subscription level that includes both taxable and non-taxable products. How can I set that up so only the taxable amounts are taxed? So actually how you're going to handle that is on a product level. So what you'll do is you'll go into the products and services section. And if there are certain things that require tax, you'll want to make sure you populate that. So there is a little option in here to make that taxable or not. So that's how I would handle that. That's it for me for right now.
Super, super helpful. Thank you so much, Brandy. I have a question here from Aaron. It says, is there a way to set multi-factor to ask on the same day every week? It bugs me that I never know when it's going to ask for multi-factor. I can definitely pass this along for you. Obviously, security is super important to us. And I'll show you the settings for those of you maybe that are new to Syncro or you haven't signed up for a trial yet, or you just haven't deployed an agent, which is when it's going to force you to set up your multi-factor authentication. So if you go over to your admin section, employee settings, 1 week is the only one that's, or not the only one that's not on here, but is not currently on there. You have 5 days, which is pretty close, or 2 weeks. But I hear what you're saying. Like if you said like every Friday or every Monday or whatever to set it at that time, can definitely pass that along for you. So let me grab, I think I had one more question. Oh, question from Derek. He says, is there any more development coming as far as documentation goes? We are currently using IT portal for documentation. I'm curious if Syncro MSP is planning on making any development around this. I personally haven't heard any super concrete plans around development. I did want to share with you guys because this keeps coming up more and more often on demos, and honestly, we learn so much from you guys when we speak with you guys as you're considering Syncro, as you're telling us which tools you're using. And this one has become very, very popular. I hear it at least once a day, I would say, is Hoodoo. If you guys have not heard of Hoodoo before, they are very similar to IT Glue, and they work with, it's a documentation platform. But something I learned yesterday was one of my users said that Hoodoo also integrates with a bunch of other apps. So if you're using more apps in the Syncro App Center or other tools that are not directly plugged into Syncro, you could plug it into Hoodoo, which plugs in with us, and kind of having your documentation all in one place. So I'll drop the KB for that for you guys in the chat box as well. And then let's see, I think I had one more. Two more. Laura says, oh, Laura, thank you. Okay, she says, just wanted to comment, we have a pending reboot saved search in the assets and RMM section. There's an option or condition under the asset type pending reboot is true. So yes, this is correct. This is another way to do it if you wanted to here within the admin, or I'm sorry, within the assets and RMM section. You get this little magnifying glass over to the left. Brandy, I think already showed this today, but if you click new search here, you could kind of view all endpoints that are pending reboot. You just scroll down to the bottom, asset type Syncro device, add property condition, and then mine is highlighting, and then pending reboot is going to be right here. So you could, is true, save that, and then you'll have like a nice list to work from as well. And then Vin says the script that I shared is helpful. So I'm glad to hear that. That makes me super happy. Let us know what else you guys need.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, Hannah has a question. How are internal notification settings changed? For example, we're importing customers in right now and we'd like to have the importing complete notifications sent to a different mailbox. Great question. I actually learned something new this week as someone else had this question too. So it's awesome that you guys come to these because we can definitely highlight other things that we're learning. So in the admin section under the notification center, you can actually have as many different sets in here as you'd like. And when you're drilling into these notification sets, you actually don't even have to have it notify a specific user. So if you have certain notification sets you want just to go to a different email address, you can actually deselect any of the users here and just input in the additional email that you want that notification set to go to. And remember that you can have emails go out as well as SMS. We do have a mobile app for mobile push, and then integration with Slack and Microsoft Teams. Hopefully that helps.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to grab a few here. Bill, I just wanted to let you know that I don't know the answer to that, but I'm trying to find out in the background here. And then I actually thought it might be really cool to source this to the group because Jeremy, I don't know the answer to that. Speaking of saved asset searches, is there a good rule of thumb on finding the correct string to put in for installed app filters? Unless one of you know, I don't know that. So I just thought maybe someone here today would know. So if you do, shout it out. We'll read it out loud for Jeremy. And then let's see. Oh, I love this from Aaron. Not a question, rather an answer for a question that was asked 2 weeks ago. See, I love this. Yeah. Coming back and helping. Someone asked on the 423 webinar about creating a new account for purpose of Splashtop login where they don't have the credentials for that machine. The solution isn't Splashtop related, but the first two scripts in the community list are for adding a new admin account. So hopefully if you were here 2 weeks ago, or if you're watching the recording of this, you have your question answered now. So thanks, Aaron, appreciate it. Let me look. Oh, okay, Eric, I don't think you're missing anything. He's wondering, Syncro has a rather robust set of permissions options, and we'd like to be able to confirm the settings made to the security groups applied to users via impersonation. Otherwise, it looks like we will need to purchase an extra license to test validate the settings. So yes, as of today, I think the recommendation would almost be like you have that person sitting next to you so that you could update those settings and then see what they have access to, or, possibly ask them, hey, can you log in for me, and have it open on 2 different instances. So yeah, that's kind of the long and short of it as of today. Okay, I'm done. Who's next?
Probably me. Just because I got so lost in reading these questions. I'm like, hold on, it's probably me because it's quiet. Okay. I have a question here from Ron. I would like to have a single line in the bill based on purchased subscription. Might need a little bit more clarity around this, Ron. I'm going to share my screen and show kind of the basics, and if you can elaborate on a little bit more specifically what you're looking for, because we do have in our recurring invoices section the ability to bill for almost any type of billing model through Syncro. So when you are creating a recurring invoice, you can add any types of line items that you want. So whether you are pulling in pending ticket charges for a customer that's on a break fix type of a billing model, or if you're adding any other line item type in here, billing on a per endpoint basis, per contact, workstation versus server, per level of monitoring, for a flat fee lump sum, or by block hours. So I don't know what you mean when you're when you say, oh, that's a follow-up to your tax question. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one then. Not 100% sure where we're at on that one. Okay, I'm done.
Vin is asking when the splash top will be included. Honestly, we don't have a date on that, but in our public forums on the Facebook group, I know Andy did say later this month, but no particular ETA.
Is it me? I think I grabbed this one. Sebastian wants to know if we have any plans in the future to improve the integration with IT Glue so it syncs the customers and contacts and not just the devices. So, a couple things on that. If the IT integration is kind of interesting because we built one on our side, they built one on their side. So it's not going to be a two-way sync, but I was under the impression that when you create a customer on the Syncro side, it created it on the IT Glue side. I don't think it happens in the opposite direction, but I just that's what I thought. Maybe I'm wrong, and if I am, please correct me. That's just what I was thinking. But again, it's also kind of interesting because what isn't sometimes known is that you can set it up on both sides, which is kind of interesting. So.
Okay, I think I am next, and I'm going to take this question from Hannah, and then Ron, I'm going to see if I can tackle your question because I think I know what you're looking for, but I don't know if it works. So we'll get there. But Hannah, is there a way to generate recurring invoices to pull in unbilled time for a given client within a month? Additionally, it would be helpful if these invoices were to generate but not charge the client. This way, our accounting team can review before distribution. Absolutely, Hannah. Let me go ahead and just share my screen really quick. And so where we're going to go is in your recurring invoices. So I think Tatiana just shared where we were there previously. However, in a specific recurring invoice, you're going to have an option to add in any pending ticket charges. And so that's going to be where it'll be able to automatically pull in that unbilled time. So any time added on to tickets or products or anything that's going to be what we call a pending ticket charge will automatically pull into their next invoice. And so then that way it'll do that automated for you. And then what you can select is go ahead and uncheck the email customer, the PDF. That way it doesn't automatically go out to the client. And then that way you're able to review it prior to sending it out. So it'll generate at 6 a.m. your time when you run it next at, and you're able to jump in there and review it prior to sending it out. So hopefully that helps. And then Ron, I'm wondering if this would work. So if you are in a product that you're offering, and this can be a subscription or something like that as well, to where you can, maybe let's just use something like this. You can set up where you can tax this specific product. And then I'm not sure if this would work, but, and maybe someone can chime in, but then if you create a bundle, can that tax just be applied to the product within the bundle and not the entire bundle itself? I'm not sure if that would work, but might be something to look into and test.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for grabbing that one, Hannah. I think when it comes down to super nitty gritty tax specific questions, we know that this is super important to you guys, and we not only encourage you to test, but please reach out to our support team as well, because they will be able to either confirm for you or provide a workaround of what is happening with what you're trying to accomplish. Because again, from our side, we are Syncro product experts. We can show you where to find certain buttons, like do we have that feature or not. But when it comes to like concrete specific implementation of like, hey, this is a big deal to me, this is how I get paid, and like taxes are not something to mess around with, right? Reach out to our support team so that they can provide a more like detailed, concrete answer for you guys as well. Real quick, I'll grab a couple here. Jose says, is there any way to create an alert on top processes with high disk utilization? Is there a script that already does that? I don't think it's an RMM. So I feel like I'm just accidentally grabbing all of the scripting questions today, even though I'm not super proficient with scripting. So this one specifically is actually related to the policies, Jose. I'm super excited to show you. So you could either go to the policies here, click into your policies module, and then open your process and service monitoring in a new tab, which I've done here. Or you can access the same page just by opening any policy, scrolling down to your, scroll too far, I'm too excited. If you click edit monitors right here, this is where you can adjust the same settings. So the point here is when you're setting up a process or service monitor, you can name it whatever you want. You can specify the process path here, name, and then this piece right here is super straightforward. If this process right here is not running after 2 minutes, I want to automatically start, I want to run a system. But you can also say that you want to monitor resource usage. So this is where you were saying, like, if it hits a certain threshold, or if it's taking, to answer your question directly, it won't give you, there's no script that I know of personally that can give you a list of the top running processes or services that are taking up the most CPU memory usage. But you could set up this alert right here to where if it hits this threshold for this long, you can say, I need Syncro to create alert and log the activity, or just log the activity. Or if this is a big deal to you, like I know the example I always use here is actually QuickBooks. Like maybe you have a customer that is, like if QuickBooks shuts down, their entire business shuts down and they're losing thousands of dollars per hour, you could set up a process or service monitor for that. And then take this and tie all of these settings right here, and then actually pull all of those settings into an automated remediation to complete the next actions that you need for resolving that issue. So you could say the condition is QuickBooks or whatever is not running here. I need to immediately do XYZ, run a script, post to Slack, post to Teams, send me a text, and ping the manager, whatever it might be. So hopefully that is helpful to you there. And then One Stop IT Solution says, what is the parallel IT with software? I mentioned earlier, it's Hoodoo. I dropped it into the chat box for you there. And then a last question here that I'll grab is from Aaron. He says, I've noticed a common answer to many questions is submit a feature request. So yes, we are very transparent both on our demos and in our live sessions and everywhere that we can. Like if we don't have a feature, we will tell you, and we love listening to our community. So if there's something that you need that we don't have, and a lot of you guys need that thing, we want to build it for you. So the best ways to submit a feature request is you can either email our support and just put feature request in the subject line and say, hey, this is what I need. Can you please fix it? This is why I need it. Things that get prioritized are things that are going to either save you time or make you money. And if that can be applied across the entire Syncro base of like every MSP would benefit, I think that just kind of like rises to the top of the list. So email help@syncromsp.com, put feature request in the subject line. They'll log it for you. We also source feature requests from social media as well. Reddit, Facebook, all that good stuff. If you're on a demo with us and you're like, I would love to have this, we always pass that along. And we work with our devs directly. So it doesn't fall on deaf ears.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tatiana. Evan has a great question. In regards to invoices generated but not automatically sent, is there a report or something that you can quickly review all of those invoices that haven't been sent yet? Yes. So when you're in your Invoices tab, there's going to be this advanced search option. Go ahead and select that, and it'll give you this option to then look at whether it's emailed yes or emailed no. So you'll definitely want to just select the one that's emailed no, and you can even specify if it's a recurring invoice or not, and then apply that search to quickly see that view there. And then I think I have one more. It's going to be from Hannah, and she just says, thank you. Thank you to you for joining. We appreciate you guys so much. This is awesome. We love doing this. She says, report for all the serviced hours for a given client within a designated time frame. I love all our technicians, but sometimes they forget to mark time as billable. So it'd be helpful to have a comprehensive overview when reviewing the recurring invoices. So if you'd like to have that type of report, I believe there's going to be a couple of ones for you. And so under tickets, there's going to be something that's called pending ticket charges. And so it's going to be able to be filtered by customer and then also by period. So this is going to be by client. I think though, if some of your technicians have trouble with maybe marking it that it needs to be billed, or maybe marking it that it should not be billed, remember that you can have a toggle to specify in the ticket that all the charges that they add will just automatically bill. So if you don't have that on, that's going to be in your tickets and under ticket preferences and under additional settings. There's also going to be a technician ticket time by technician report, to where it'll show you all of the time that they've logged and then whether it was going to be billed or not. And then if it's not billed, give you the option to charge that time. Hopefully that helps.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah. I have a couple in here. So Tito is asking, is there a way to make outbound emails for invoices different than outbound support emails? So invoices is the same, right? All of them are the same. Or is there a separate one for invoices? No, I didn't think so. I started second guessing myself. I'm like, you can only have one outbound mailbox. I just wanted to make sure for billing it was the same. The mailer is where you can choose what email you want that to come from. So just one outbound mailbox. You can of course have as many inbound as you would like to, though. I don't know why I'm second guessing myself on that one today with invoices. I was so confident, and then I'm like, wait, invoices, is this different? And then a couple other questions in here. So Tito's also asking, we have clients with child and sister companies, but they have the same billing email. What is the best way to send invoices to that billing email? Excellent question. And I think this comes up pretty often. So assuming you have those set up as different customers inside of the system, the great thing about this is when we look at the customer information, this needs to be different customer to customer. Your contacts, however, could be the same. So for that, for all of the different parent-child companies or customers in the system, you could include that same billing contact, and then you would be able to select this option to be receiving the billing emails. You can also add a CC on all of the invoices for this customer. So you'll just want to set up the same contact, just not the main point of contact to be the same email. So hopefully that helps. I think that comes up pretty often. And then I think I might have had one more in here. Yes, Vin, this is just a comment, but he just says to Aaron, speaking from my past experience, Syncro listens and adds a lot of features they talk about. It's true. We care about you guys. We also, I think our Reddit and our Facebook groups are great places to submit requests for our quality of life feature requests that we do from the community. So hopefully that helps.
Oh, Erin, sorry. Yes, I did not read your whole question. I'm sorry about the yes. The way, but I think I answered it. Emailing help@syncromsp.com. Sorry about that. Yeah, thank you for confirming, because we try to keep our ear to the ground and listen to our community in every possible way, but the most, I guess, official way is to email help@syncromsp.com and just put feature requests in the subject line. So hopefully that's helpful. So real quick, this is super cute. There's like a back and forth conversation going on from Jose and Gary. I again am not a technician or an MSP, so this, I feel like I'm missing a piece of this conversation regarding disk utilization, but I'm gonna kind of just read the back and forth for everybody who maybe has us minimized and you're just kind of listening in the background. So Jose says the problem is that resource usage doesn't include disk utilization, in response to when I showed where you can see process and service monitors like CPU and memory usage. He says it doesn't include disk utilization. So Gary was just trying to help out and say that the CPU memory alerts will default the list by the top 5 consumers, and he provided the top script. So, or the top, like a specific example of those top 5. So again, check out the Q&A section. Hopefully that's helpful again for disk utilization. I'm not 100% sure which piece in Syncro that could be surfaced, but I'll double check and confirm with our technical support team as well.
Real quick, I'm gonna hop in. Bill, the question was, we had to update taxes here this year. Can we delete the old tax default without causing issues with older quotes and invoices? So directly from technical support, their actual kind of best practices is to probably not delete it. That deleting something that's on a previous invoice that is syncing to an accounting system, we feel like that might be a little bit risky to delete it, and it doesn't hurt at all to keep it. Like, you can switch your default to the new one, of course, but maybe best practice would be to just keep it, because I don't know if we've tested every single scenario if you do delete that. So hopefully that helps a little bit. That's it.
Awesome. Okay, I think I have the next one that's sitting at the top here. Question is from Corey. He says, I'm sure this is straightforward, but where can we set monitors for Windows events? So I'm going to share my screen and show you where to find that. It's going to be in the same area where we found those process and service monitoring. So if you head over to your policies, you can either click event log monitoring in a new tab, or if you open any policy, it's going to be listed right here as well. Same place, just 2 different ways to get there. So through the event log policies, we do have some presets built into here to where it actually will, like if you click into one of these, it says it's monitoring 5 different events already for you, kind of preset and out of the box. So you can utilize those and kind of see what exactly is included. A lot of these, if you maximize them, it'll kind of include the specific event log IDs here as well. So you can either use the preset ones, or if you're building out a brand new event log policy based on what is important to you, you just click add new event log query, enter the event ID, and then create it. And then again, you can actually also pull this in to the automated remediation that I showed you guys previously. So hopefully that helps point you in the right direction there. And then Steven says, is there a way to bulk bill all of our pending ticket charges for all of our tickets? Right now we have to go ticket by ticket, select convert to invoice. Oh yes, let's make your life easier. I'm so glad that you asked this question. This is going to be a huge time saver for you. If we go over to, there's 2 different ways to do this. You can either do this from any recurring invoice, or if you create an invoice from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll show you the manual way first, and then I'll show you how to automate it as well. So if you click add new invoice right here, pull this up on a customer per customer basis, create the invoice, and this will give you a list of all pending ticket charges right here for you. So it looks like I have 4. You just click add all right there. So hopefully that's easier for you. And then it will sync to your accounting platform automatically once the invoice is created. If you're using QuickBooks Desktop Online or Xero, you can email from here, whatever else you need, or you can completely automate that. You can set up a recurring invoice to where you can say, I want to bill my customer Larry based off of this specific template, on the schedule of once a month so you're building out a template for your customer this often, you want to build them on this date of the month, and then right here Syncro will automatically once a month pull in all of those pending ticket charges for you without you having to lift a finger. So hopefully that's helpful to you.
I also just see more back and forth. So Gary just says that he developed a script that returns nice results. So if you're willing to share, I don't know how you want to do that. If you want to pop your email and we can privately send it to him, or just so we're not, broadcasting that to everyone here, you might get some inquiries.
And also, Dave, just letting you know, I've got your other question posted in our technical support channel to see if I can't get an answer for you here soon, because I don't actually know the answer to that.
Steven says, is there a way to do it for all customers? Yes. Yes, this is going to be part of your initial onboarding of your customers. Or if you're moving over from a different platform to Syncro, you would set up this recurring invoice template on a customer per customer basis. And then yes, it will run like clockwork for you. The easiest way is if you are moving over from somewhere else and you're kind of in the initial stages of building out your recurring invoices to be as automated as possible, you can clone any invoice or duplicate it and then just attach it to the next customer if they're all like, for all customers that are maybe on a break fix model, just duplicate that and all of their settings will be properly applied. But there is, to answer more directly, you can't create an invoice and then wrap every pending ticket charge for every single customer, because each invoice would need to be separate for each customer, right? So hopefully that's helpful to you.
He said that it'll save him hours at the end of each month.
Oh, good. That makes me so happy.
And Gary dropped his email, so we can send that privately. Yes, we can do that. And then I also see a question in here. Ron is asking, when a meeting time is reserved, can a Teams or Zoom invite be sent to the customer? I don't think that's something that's native in Syncro. I don't know if there's like I don't know if you could put that, obviously you could put that in like a note if you wanted to, or an email to the customer, but we don't have anything with Teams or with Zoom, and our integration with Teams is going to be more so for you. So for notifications, automated remediations, it's going to post to your guys' Teams channel. Good suggestion though. I'll just, since I'm unmuted, I'll go ahead and read through a couple of these. So Ron is asking if there's any plans to update the UI for meeting page. The Calendry and HubSpot pages are a better experience for users. So I know that the UI just in general, I don't know what pages, but it's a topic of conversation internally. So I don't have an ETA or anything like that. Not to say it's actively being worked on, but it is a priority of ours.
Awesome. I will grab this one from Hannah. We have clients who utilize block hours. Since our block hours carry over month to month and refilled when empty, we'd like to provide clients a monthly report of hours used and remaining hours. We know that remaining hours and past invoices are viewable on the portal, but not all customers use the portal. Additionally, it would be awesome if said report automatically generated and sent. What is the best practice for this? Hannah, that's a great question. I am going to share with you the executive summary report. It can only show you the remaining hours, and this can be scheduled to send out. This was actually a feature request last open office hours, last Friday, when Andy was here, and he actually said that that was a cool idea to have it where, you can show where they started, what they used, and what they were ending with. So that went in as a feature request last week. I think someone submitted that, so that's awesome. But in the report section, we're going to have an executive summary report builder for you where you can create your own template. And one of the blocks here is going to be a prepay hours balance. So if you'd like to create a template custom for that client and then be able to schedule this to go out on a recurring basis, that then you can go ahead and build that out.
I'll grab one here from Corey. He says, when we've added Screen Connect to Syncro, the assets showed up in Screen Connect within minutes of activating in Syncro. However, we've not been able to find this within Syncro previously. We had splashed up and it showed up alongside of Syncro Remote. Just wondering if we're overlooking something. So yes, I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you where it should be located. And if it's not there, reach out to our support team. So if you're within the assets and RMM section or anywhere that you can launch into a remote session, you should be, when you click them, into launching into a remote session, this should be automatically turned into a drop-down menu for you, and you should be able to choose Screen Connect as an option there. So if it's not there, I'll drop the KB for Screen Connect into the chat box. If you've already seen it, then don't look at it and just reach out to our support team.
Awesome. I was just going to read this one out loud. Aaron was just saying that he did submit a ticket about this, but was just curious if anyone else noticed that the community script for show open TCP ports is broken. It actually shows the list of scheduled scripts, which is a different script. Looks like the original author used the scheduled tasks as a template. So again, he's saying it's not necessarily like, he's more of just asking if he's the only one experiencing it. So if anyone else is, let him know. I love this from Gary. Just a comment. My techs are finding it to be much faster to process tickets, like orders of magnitude. Thanks and keep up the good work. So Gary, I am going to screenshot this right now and post this for the team, because these are the things that like really mean a ton to the team.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Gary.
Yes, thank you, Gary. And again, Dave, I'm still waiting. I'm sorry. I'm still waiting for an answer.
Is this, I don't know if this is a record. I mean, Fridays are pretty packed, but I think this is the first time, and we're 45 minutes in, but the queue is down basically to 0. So pretty exciting stuff.
Now's your time, everybody. Get those questions.
This is your 15-minute warning to grab any chats, any links from the chat box. Those do disappear.
I'm posting this comment, Gary, right now for the team to be happy about on a Friday. So thank you. That was so nice. Well, let's see.
I also see some ladies that have joined us today. So if you're a mother, then happy Mother's Day this weekend. You can go ahead and say that.
Yes, indeed.
And happy Mother's Day to those 3 mothers that are in here right there. Tatiana, Brandy, and Crystal, happy Mother's Day. You guys are, for lack of a better word, badasses.
Ohana, we appreciate you.
Derek is asking, at the end of every month, we get a sync delayed with QuickBooks for like 300 minutes. Is this normal? 300 minutes? I don't know if that's normal. I know there is a small delay at the end of each month, just when everything is running. I also know that is like a high priority. I think we don't have a lot to do with that sync from our end. I think it has to do with the QuickBooks end, but I will say things, and we've been very public about that, but things with the Xero and QuickBooks syncs as well are very high priority for our team. It's like top priority, honestly. I'm not just saying that. Top priority.
Gary, you are getting lots of emoji responses to your compliment to the dev team. So thank you so much again. It really means a lot. I don't think people understand like how closely knit our company is, and how like we speak to Andy, who's head of product, or Troy, who's our founder, or somebody on the dev team, or like when you guys ask us to a follow-up on something for you guys, we go and speak to that person directly on our technical support team. Like we're very, very close knit. So it definitely means a lot to us when you guys are kind of acknowledging our efforts, and we're super happy to pass along compliments as well as feature requests, but compliments are always nice too. So thank you for that.
Does someone want to show how to transfer one customer ticket to another?
Yes. Yep. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. Let me share my screen and I will show you. Let's go ahead. We can click into any ticket and then you just click change customer here over on the left side. I love questions like this. Thank you for asking. Whoever asked that, anonymous, no problem. If you feel that you don't want to share your name, Not a problem. Anonymous questions are always welcome, but there's no such thing as a silly question. And maybe this is going to save you like a ton of headache. So please, any question, no matter how straightforward it might seem, ask away. Any ticket you open, scroll down just a little bit under the customer information, just click change and move it to any other customer's name. There you go.
And Gary made a point too. We're transitioning between systems. It's to the point where I hate processing tickets in our old system. We want to make it really easy and streamlined and everything. Like when we talk about, it's funny because, and just since we have a few minutes, when we chat with people on demos, they're like, I think most of you guys are customers with Syncro already, but you know, they're just looking at one side of one side of either the ticketing and invoicing or the RMM, and it's like, you're reserved on wanting the whole package, thinking that it's going to be this cost for one and this cost for another, when it's just the same system. It's just so that we can determine how to show you the system and how it's going to work for you. But we want it to be like, I told someone yesterday, our motto is like, set it and forget it, right? We want it to all integrate and tie in, not just integrate, but just be completely embedded. So I'm going to make that easy for you guys.
Thank you, Brandy. Aaron's just giving an update on the script. It looks like, it sounds like maybe support responded, or maybe he found the answer that line 19 is the one that needs editing for the script called audit listening port. So if anybody's using that or working on that script or trying to make it do the thing that it's supposed to do, there's a quick tip from Aaron.
I'm going to drop the KB on setting up the MFA for portal, but I also want to show you something because I think this is really beneficial if you want to just turn it on in mass, which a lot of people do, right? You don't want to go individually. If you just select those and you go to bulk actions, this is one of the newer little quality of life features that we had added, but you can go ahead and turn this on just directly from here. You can require the MFA directly from here. So let me go ahead and this is like just 25, which is cool too, because right, I might have 2000. I can actually go ahead and select that option to apply to all of them. So I'm not going to all these individual pages. So let me drop that in there for you.
Awesome, thanks. I was just, Hannah was asking, since I mentioned earlier about IT Glue not being a two-way sync. So it is like from Syncro to IT Glue. And as far as the contacts, I was just gonna pull up the KB. Does anyone know if it transfers contacts too, or is it just customers? I'm gonna pull it up and look. Or if anyone out there knows.
Looks like Derek is saying just customers.
Just customers? Yeah.
Thank you, Derek.
Yes. Here, I'll put this in the chat and I'll actually send it to everybody and not just Brandy, Tatiana, and Hannah like I did last time. All right, here's the IT Glue KB for everyone. Sweet. What do we got? Oh, Aaron actually hasn't submitted a ticket yet, but is planning on after the webinar. Cool. Okay.
I'm glad I gave you both credit, because I was not sure on that one. I was like, he either emails or maybe he found it. So he found. It'd be proactive, Aaron. You got this.
Oh, too funny. Let me go ahead. I'm going to read this one out loud if anyone hasn't seen it, because I have not gotten a response just yet from technical support. But Dave wants to know, as operator, we can try to demand process of users to close all windows, but that is just best effort, particularly if when technicians will indeed be working independently remotely. Is there a remote way or a script kill a technician Syncro window sessions? Does anybody know? Because I don't. I'm not sure. And I haven't read the next one yet. Should I read it out loud? How are projects typically managed in Syncro? Is there a third-party integration with Syncro we should be looking at, or are other Syncro users finding Syncro tickets sufficient for project management? Coming from a PSA that has a project management board module, we are having some trouble figuring out how to manage project management in Syncro. We talk about this quite often. I think it honestly depends on like how intricate your projects are, because a lot of times what our MSPs are finding is that by utilizing custom ticket fields as well as worksheets, that's a way to really work through what is happening on the project. And now that in service level agreements, you can stop like the time to resolution, or like that SLA timer on specific ticket types, you can now have like a ticket type that's project and have it automatically like stop the timer for the service level agreements. So I'm interested to see what the community says, because I don't necessarily know if I have a strong recommendation on an integration. We do have a Zapier integration, so if you were using something outside of Syncro, but yeah, for now, I would definitely look into custom ticket fields, worksheets, and then service level agreements to stop those timers on specific ticket types.
Okay. I want to share something kind of cool that's happening like literally as we speak. So, Jose, to your disk utilization question, it got the attention of somebody on our team, and they're talking through it right now, and they're having a conversation back and forth of like the best way to approach it. And it looks like they understand the importance, and there's definitely conversation about it, but someone from our team says, all right, go ahead and get an engineer to talk through how to set this up, start with person XYZ. And then they made sure to make sure that they're not tagging me because like I said, it's people on our team that, like I said, we passed it along the screenshot of what you're saying is like disk utilization is important. We sent the screenshot, Andy's commenting on it, someone else from our dev team is commenting on it, and from that point, like I did my job, was just to pass it along to our team, and then they're taking it from there. But I just thought that they went out of their way to like put in parentheses like not Tatiana, because there is nothing I can do from there other than passing along to the team. So there you go.
Too funny. 4-minute warning.
I also just saw someone put emojis in the Q&A. I didn't even know emojis work in the Q&A or the chat. News to me.
I don't know how to do it. I have no idea how to do it. I'm not gonna try.
And it's a 2 thumbs up. That means Jose's extra happy. Good. Oh, there's a heart. Oh, this is fun. I need to go Google how to put.
Everyone send their favorite emoji.
Oh, somebody send how to send emojis. I need to know this. This is cool. This is like next level stuff.
Windows key and dot. Okay.
You're gonna need to be more clear.
Yep.
Window key plus the period.
Oh, I'm gonna try it.
What about gosh, this is cute.
How cute. What?
Hit your Windows key on the keyboard. Yeah. I guess you need a Windows key to be able to do that.
Are you on a Mac, Randy?
Maybe try, is there like the Apple? Is that control and then dot?
There are funny ones in here too. Like, what's a stunt cat?
This is cute. You guys are teaching me something new, but I need someone to show me on a Mac how to do it.
Oh my, this is like, wow. I love.
They work in your Syncro policy names too. Cute.
What?
Oh, the pumpkin. Halloween's my birthday, so I appreciate the pumpkin on here.
Will never be the same.
Command
From
period.
this moment on.
I just don't know.
This is so cute.
Jeremy, happy Mother's Day.
This is
Thank you, Jeremy.
On Mac should be command and then the period.
Yeah, I'm trying that, but it just takes my chat window away when I press that. It's okay, I'll learn.
Oh my
I'll watch
gosh.
a YouTube video or look up a snazzy KB. That's really cool though.
You guys just upped our emoji game.
That literally just made my week.
It just went off the rails. That was great.
before we end, I saw this one from Ron and I didn't want it to get lost. He says, I'm just starting out with Syncro and interested in best practices for project management within Syncro. Ron, if you're working with Brandy, Hannah, or Tatiana, or if one of you, okay, Hannah's on it, Ron.
I'm on it.
Okay, cool. Did we miss anything else through the emoji thing? I don't think so. Did we? That was fun. Okay, well, maybe we should clip this part of the recording. I don't know.
I just want to say,
Love it.
Command Control Spacebar, Eric for the win. Good job.
Awesome. Okay, and then I'm realizing, Dave, your question, I still have it here. But Dave, I also don't know your email address, or so if you're working with one of us, or if you're not, feel free to email me, Crystal at syncromsp.com, or if you're working with one of us, please email us that this was your question so that when we do have an answer, we can get back to you. All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much. Happy Friday. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. And we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Hi, guys.